Welcome to the Toyota Solutions studio. We're going to talk about a really cool technology that's helping people in disaster zones get light. Joining us right now is Andrea Sreshta, who is a 2014 Toyota Mother of Invention and started these in a company called Luminaid. Andrea, it's so nice to meet you.
Thanks for having us.
Let's start by just talking about what these are and what problem they solve.
So these are Luminaid solar lanterns, and in this case, a phone charger as well. And the idea is there's a solar panel, a rechargeable battery, and you can use the solar panel to charge it in the sunlight. And there are also LEDs on the underside. They come flat like this, so they're super compact, they're lightweight, they're waterproof, and so you can charge them in the day, and then at night when you need light, you blow them up, and then
they expand.
They expand. Yep. And there's actually a valve, and you can blow them up, and then it becomes the lantern, and this diffuses the LED light. And so for roughly, I mean, all of our lights and phone chargers have different performance specs, but for about 10 hours of charging in sunlight, you get up to 50 hours of LED light on the lowest setting for this one.
So this is obviously a terrific thing to have in disaster zones where they have lost electricity. Where has it been deployed so far?
Gosh, so I think we've done projects both for disaster response and also in places where people just lack regular access to electricity in more than 100 countries. In terms of major disaster response, our lights have been used after the typhoon in the Philippines, the earthquakes in Nepal, and more recently, of course, last year, 2017, was a very busy hurricane season.
Yes.
So a lot of our lights and phone chargers were distributed in the Caribbean, including Puerto Rico, where in those parts of the world, they're still having a lot of issues getting their electricity grid back up to speed.
Puerto Rico is such an ideal spot for this. Obviously, there's a lot of sunlight there, and Hurricane Maria basically knocked off, I believe, 80% of the electric grid. What sorts of organizations do you work with on the ground when something like that happens to get Luminaid dispatched?
Yeah, that's a great question, because we're actually a small team, and a lot of people think that we are the ones traveling and doing all this work to distribute aid supplies, and we have been on trips where we've met people who are using our lights after a disaster, but the types of partners we worked with for Puerto Rico, for example, included organizations like Convoy of Hope, the American Red Cross, and then we also had a bunch of just smaller charities and even just groups of people write to us and say, like, hey, we're raising money to send stuff to our family, friends, and our relatives. And I mean, it was really just incredible to see how much people mobilized to help, whether they were a big charitable organization like the Red Cross or even just individuals who were looking to do something.
Let's go back to 2014, when you were first recognized as a Mother of Invention. What did that mean for you personally?
Oh, it was huge. And I mean, I share it with my partner, Anna, my co-inventor and business partner. And I think for us, it was sort of, we were students when we came up with this idea. We didn't know what innovation was. We didn't know what entrepreneurship was. We didn't know what social entrepreneurship was. I mean, these were all things that as design students were really new concepts to us. And so to have a partner like Toyota recognize us and include us in this Mothers of Invention network has been just huge. And to have it happen so early on, I think it gave us a lot of momentum and confidence to build around our idea and start our business.
Where have you come since 2014? It's been 4 years. How much have you grown since receiving that grant?
Well, all of those things that I talked about that we just really didn't have any sense of what entrepreneurship was or even running a small business. I mean, I think we've both really learned a lot about the challenges and also just the kind of really rewarding parts of having a business where we have a product that also helps people in need. And we have a great team now. We used to do it all ourselves. So it's just, there's been a lot of really positive changes over the last 4 years.
How big has the team grown to at this point?
Oh, we're up to 8, including Anna and I, which it's still small, but for us, starting from 2 or even barely 2 because we were in school when we started, it's very rewarding to now have a team. And like, I think the most important thing is that our business is scaled. We've come up with new versions of our technology. We went from the solar lights to now solar lights that also charge phones. So things have really progressed, and the bottom line is it's enabled us to scale that much more after disasters. We have thousands and thousands more Luminaid lights that are available every time something happens to be able to help people, and that's really what it's about.
I want you to delve a little bit more into the countries you operate that aren't responses to disasters. I think a lot of people in this country take for granted electricity, but there are wide swaths of India, for example, of Africa, that don't have basic electricity.
Yeah, and a lot of our projects in places where it's not a disaster, but people are still looking to access electricity and charge phones. I mean, there are more phones than people in the world at this point, so it's definitely...
That's scary.
I'm guilty. I'm glued to my phone, so I get it. Yeah. But a lot of our projects in places like that involve schools and school children and places where children don't have light by which to do their homework and study at night. I always joke that I don't know if they actually love that they now have to do their homework.
And they have to do homework.
But yeah, so a lot of schools. But we've done a whole variety of work. I mean, there's so many. I mean, a lot of that we access through just these wonderful charities and charitable partners who are doing all this really hard work on the ground. And I mean, even a lot of the people who work for the charities themselves, they don't have electricity, but they're like very committed.
And are you set up as a nonprofit charity, or how does your business model work?
No, actually, we're just a for-profit business. However, on our website, we have a program that we've run since we started the business called Give Light, Get Light, where customers can, I mean, a lot of our customers buy lights for camping and boating and outdoor recreation, and they can also sponsor lights that we then donate to partner charities. And usually, if there's a disaster response going on, usually we'll tie it to one of our charitable partners who's doing work on the ground after a disaster. But if not, then we have all these other wonderful projects like helping schools access light. And so, I mean, through that program, we've done probably another 50,000 lights have been donated.
Wow. When you look at Luminaid 10 years from now, where do you want to see the company?
I mean, I think it's been really fun, again, to just keep building on our technology. So we definitely have a lot of ideas for just new products, new product improvements, and I think the world also is just, like I said, even just everyone having a cell phone, for example, has created so much demand for products like ours, and also that are like cleaner alternatives than what exists otherwise. So I mean, it's solar, you don't need any other, it's fully contained, you don't need any other inputs. And so I think that we're just gonna keep building on whatever momentum we see and need for products like ours.
Yeah, it's such a great idea, and I'm glad to see that you've been able to scale it to the level that you have. Andrea, Sreshta, thank you so much. Enjoy the conference.
Thank you.